Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is at Feel the Pain PW, or Nick Payne if you prefer, and you're watching my 13th episode now on my F1 2020 My Team career, obviously with Payne Racing, of course. And if you haven't checked out my previous episodes, please go do so now. My last episode, the last race, of course, was at my home Grand Prix in Britain, at Silverstone, of course, and quite a good result in qualifying. And I actually pinched Bottas into the first corner, and then two corners later, I actually overtook Verstappen as well. So quick overtakes off the line, and had quite a tasty battle with our rival in Alex Albon as well. So great result for the team there, and I actually finished across the line in P5. So another big wealthy stack of points for the team there. Another load to keep our position going strong into the Constructors' Championship as we go on to qualifying now. As we come through the final corner at the Hungary ring. This is obviously Hungary today after the British Grand Prix. As you go into a very tight first turn, you have to be careful when you're going through there. You have to brake directly at the 100-meter board, otherwise you can easily go deep off the circuit. Then you go into turn 2, which is quite a sort of long left-hander, straight forward. Keep on the power, no need to brake through the turn 3, and this turn 4 can be very tricky. As you can see, I'll go over the corner slightly and still find a way to go deep into over the escape route as we go into the chicane, into sector 2. This is now we get into a very technical part of the circuit. It's actually been told, or there's an expression within F1 regarding the Hungary ring. It is Monaco, which I obviously crashed out on and DNF'd earlier on in the season. It's literally Monaco, but just without the barriers. That's how tight it is. So it is quite a tricky circuit, and if it did have barriers, then I would probably struggle just as much as I did in Monaco. As we come around into turn 14, the final turn in the circuit, a long right-hander up the main straight, DRS wide open, no overtake of course because it's qualifying, and I come across the line in P8, so that will see us through in qualifying, to qualifying 2 of course, and we stay in P8 after other lap times have been made as we come across the line in Q2, and we actually go in P7, but that is last out of all the cars that have come across the grid. So we do end up in P16 unfortunately, but that was on the older soft tyres. So we go out on a new set of soft tyres, and we actually get up the grid a bit more, and we actually get to P10 just through of course into the shootout. So we go through to qualifying 3, and we set our first time on the very old tyres, and we go on P10. But we stay out on the set of tyres and just keep the fuel draining down, and we actually set a lap time which is good enough for P6, so we finish in P6 in qualifying. So a good result for us. We're on the third ride of the grid, so yeah, we're literally just behind our rival in Alex Albon, so hopefully we can push him in the race.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of the Formula One World Championship. We don't expect too many retirements at this track. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher. He made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. Located 12 miles northeast of the Hungarian capital Budapest, the 14 corners of the Hungary ring are steeped in history and prestige. Overtaking has always been difficult on this technical 2.7-mile circuit, but the last few years in particular have turned up some exceptional races. Let's hope we're in for another one here today. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk about the rookie. That was a solid result in their last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Albon, the rookie, and Sainz, Perez, Ricciardo, Norris, and Lance Stroll, Hamilton, Kvyat, Max Verstappen, they've taken a grid penalty, and Raikkonen, Magnussen, Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Roman Grosjean, Gasly, Russell, Aitken, and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So as you saw from the drivers lineup, we did start or qualify in P6, but we're actually starting in P5 today, and we're going to be doing a two-stop strategy on coming in at lap 5 to change the soft tyres to medium, and then coming in again on lap 20 to another set of medium. As we go down to the grid and we go to 5 red lights, Albon just in front of us, and we're underway now. It's always a great start from us, as we've been able to nail down the circuit. We've actually jumped Albon, and we've been able to jump Vettel down on the outside as we nearly go into the back of him. Slow through turn 1. We've still got a car or two possibly side by side with us, and I think it is actually the prancing horse of Sebastian Vettel. We've given him the room around the outside. We're going to take the inside. We're just going to squeeze through there. Careful not to hit Leclerc. Careful not to break our front wing. But we were up another 2 places. We've jumped Albon, our rival. We've jumped the prancing horse of Vettel, and now we're up into P3 now, into the podium position so early on here on lap 1. And now we go through the very technical part of the circuit, where it's so hard to make an overtake here. You have to be very spot on with your move and know exactly why you can make the move there, that they're going so slow through that corner. To be able to make a move through here, you can't just jump the gun, otherwise you will lose a bit of front wing. As we come around into turn 12 now, as Leclerc's pulling out a bit of a gap with that bit of clean air he's got to Bottas in front, who's just pulling away from all of us, as I'm just trying to keep the German behind me, the former full-time world champion, as we go through the final quarter here at the Hungary ring to end lap 1, and we're up into P3 now. So with Bottas obviously up in first, Leclerc in second, myself in third, Vettel in fourth, Albon our rival in fifth. As we go through turn 1, careful not to go deep this early on. As we come through now here, as we start lap 3, DRS obviously has now been enabled, and we've still got Leclerc ahead. We've got Vettel in front, and as I said just a second ago, we've gone deep into turn 1. Thankfully we come still in front of Vettel, but only for the time being, as he's got more pace. As he goes around the outside, we go to the inside, and thankfully he allows us that room that we were entitled to down on the inside, and we keep the position for the time being. As we come through on lap 4, we're actually very slow through that chicane in turn 6 and 7 there, and slow through 8 to be fair. We're actually slow through this whole technical part of the section. If you don't have the correct line going through that chicane, then you will be slow through the whole rest of the sector, and actually that's going to allow Vettel down on the inside here at turn 12, and he's made contact with us. We've spun, we've made contact, and we're actually slow, and Vettel's got the inside line into turn 13. We're going to have to go round the outside, as George Russell is out of this Grand Prix now. We thankfully stay ahead of Sebastian Vettel for another lap or so. Maybe he's going to be on our tail as we go into the turn 1. No, it looks like we've got a bit of a gap on him, as we're going to be boxing this lap for a set of medium tyres, of course, and thankfully we're still ahead of the German for the time being. As we come in on lap 5, a load of other cars are going to be most likely staying out a little bit longer, trying to wear those soft tyres for as long as possible. As we're going to come through, we're boxing in P3, remember, and we're already dropping down the order due to so many cars who are still out there from the beginning, and we're just going to have to watch as car after car after car goes by as we're in the pit lane, and it's going to be a 2.5 second gap, or 2.5 second pit, as we're going to be coming out in P21 dead last due to George Russell already being out of this Grand Prix. As we go deep into the corner out of the pit entry, we're just going to have to catch up to Jack Aiken, our teammate, now. As we come through here on lap 6, a few cars that have come into the pits now. As you can see, there's quite a few, and it's going to be Sainz, Ricciardo, Perez that all pits. So we're going to be up into P18 now. A few cars ahead. Can we catch them? We've actually got Jack right in front of us now as we go through at the end of lap 7, seeing if we can make a move here. We've got DRS, we've got overtake mode, rich mixture engage. Can we make a move into turn 1? It's going to be deep, it's going to be late, we're going to brake late, and we make the move work, and thankfully he doesn't actually turn in on us. No damage caused to our teammate, and we're up another place now. As we come through, and we've got Alex Albon is out of the session. Our rival is out, so that's another place that we will be gaining from this race. As we've got Grosjean just in front of us. Can we make a move here around turn 12? Not possible. We can't make a move into turn 13 because he's pulled out the gap now. So we're going to have to settle for trying to make a move down the main straight or into turn 1 if it's too late. And we're going to have to dive as there's another car in the pits now, and it looks like it's Verstappen as we dive down the inside onto turn 1. That's another position that we gained, and we're up into P12 now. As you can see, we've got Gasly up ahead. We're looking to make a move here. We've got to go down the inside in turn 14. It's a lovely move down on the inside of the Frenchman, and we're up another place now. Overtake on Gasly. And we've got DRS, but Gasly is starting to look like he's going to try coming back here. Down on the inside, we brake just that little bit later, giving them room down on the inside like he was trying to do. But now we've got DRS, and we're going to pull away from him. And we're going to actually try to make a move here on Latifi. Can we make a move here before we're looking quick around turn 2? And we're going to make the move into turn 3, down on the inside. We've got the move done on Latifi now. So we're up into the points again, into P10. As you can see, we've got Giovinazzi up ahead, and just like I did on Gasly just a few minutes earlier, we're going to make a move here into turn 14, and that's another lovely overtake as we get DRS, and we're up another place now into P9 as we've overtaken the Italian here at the end of lap 14, going into lap 15. And now we've got Magnussen up ahead. Can we make a move here? We're just sizing up our opponents, see if there's any room anywhere. We're going to look to see if we can make a move just like we did on Latifi. But unfortunately for us, we're too far back at this point to actually be side by side with Magnussen. So we're going to have to settle through the next couple of corners, see if we can make a move, use an overtake when we can. It's very tricky to make an overtake in this next sector though, as I said during the qualifying lap, or the first lap of the Grand Prix I think it was actually. It's very difficult, but he's slow through these corners, so we're going to dive. He actually does turn in, and we may have lost a little bit of damage there, may have a little bit of loss on the front wing, but we're actually going to stay with him and get through into turn 9, and we're up another place now into P8. Can we catch up to Ocon and Raikkonen as soon as possible here? Can we get those moves done as quickly as possible? As you come through here on lap 16, and Ocon trying to make a move here, and he's going to come into the pits now just as Raikkonen does as well. So thankfully we didn't go to the outside and try making a move into turn 14 like we did on Gasly. And actually, as you can see, there's Kvyat in the pits as well, so is Hamilton, and we're just going to, and Stroll as well, so we're going to overtake quite a few cars there, and we're up another load of positions as we're in P4, and Kvyat's going to be in the pits as well. So we're going to be overtaking quite another load of cars at the end of lap 17, going into lap 18. And we're up into P3 once again, but we're going to be boxing in the next in this lap. So we're going to be coming in, and now we're going to have to give way to all those cars that we've just come through past, just like Hamilton and Stroll, because they're on the hard tyres. We're going to be boxing for another set of mediums, so we will be quicker than them. But unfortunately for us, we're going to have to settle back and settle for behind them for the time being. How many cars are going to pass us? Hamilton and Stroll have all gone past now. And it's going to be hopefully a quick pit stop here. And it's 3.1 seconds, so it's not too great as Vettel's gone through now. Can we come out in front of... Yep, and we're going to be coming out in front of Norris and Verstappen now. So he boxed in P3, and now we're going to be coming out in P6 now. Now the chase is on for Sebastian Vettel, as we're directly behind Sebastian Vettel now with DRS, with overtake down the main straight on lap 24. Going to look for a dive down the inside. We brake late, and he does a switch back on us, does the old switcheroo, and he gets the position back. Great driving from both us and Vettel as we look to make a dive into turn 2 down the inside. Unfortunately, it's not going to work as we try to make the move round the outside as well, but because we look quicker for him, but it's not going to make the move work, unfortunately, as we're still chasing Vettel here at the end of lap 25. We're looking to make the move here into turn 14. Can we make it move work? And there's another person who has lost the battle in turn 14, as they've given us the room down the inside, and that's another car failing to keep us at bay as we make another overtake. And now we're going to go through turn 1, and we're up another place now. Now can we catch Stroll? As we come through, and we're finally caught up to Stroll here on lap 33. Finally into a DRS figure, DRS window, overtake mode. Still got a few bit of energy on the ERS to use. I'm going to have a look here. We're very close to him. We're going to have a look for turn 2, see if it's possible. We're going to look to the inside, and unfortunately for us, he does block us off. Bit of contact to the back wing, but unfortunately the move can't be made, so we have to wait another couple of laps here. And we go through onto the lap before the final lap, and we're going to make a move here. We're going to dive down the inside onto turn 1, late braking. Finally, we get the move done on Stroll, and we're up another place now here into P4. Can we keep in the position, as Stroll is going to look to come back at us as we go through turn 2 and round into turn 3? But I think that move is made now as we come through onto the final lap of the Grand Prix, and we're going to take the checkered flag in P4, just outside the podium, unfortunately, but nonetheless a great result and a great race from us, as we made quite a few clinical overtakes on quite a load of drivers, as Lewis Hamilton gets driver of the day, and fully deserved, as he gets on the podium starting in P12. But a great result for us.
It's a performance to be proud of today from our Hungarian Grand Prix winners. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
And as I said just before, it's a great result for us as we get into P4. Another great result for us, just missing out on the podium, of course, as Lewis Hamilton finished in second. I think I said third, but he finished in second, so a great result for him considering where he actually qualified. We obviously finished fourth, so we do get again a position from where we qualified. Well, 2 positions from where we qualified, 1 position from where we started on the grid, and an extra 12 points, as Jack Aiken actually can only get P18, but he does get up quite a few positions in the race, finishing just behind Nicholas Latifi, unfortunately, as we go through to the standings. And we actually are up into P6 now, as we're joint with Alex Albon on points. We're literally neck and neck, couldn't separate us, and we're neck and neck, 100 points each. Who would have thought that at this stage? And we're going to be in P4 in the world, in the Constructors' Championship as well. So great result for us, and that's where we're going to end it here on such a positive note. Great result for us, great result for the team at Pain Racing. If you have liked this episode, please like it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Any thoughts, please comment them down below. I do like reading them. I've been at Feel the Pain PW. Hope you've enjoyed. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.